Coming off the Tournament of Power, we were introduced to Jiren, a life form which pushed Goku way past his limits, causing him to turn into Mastered Ultra Instinct. And even then, Jiren was able to increase his power even more and still fight against Ultra Instinct Goku. And now, leading into the Dragon Ball Super movie Broly, people are thinking that Ultra Instinct is going to come. How is Broly going to fight against it? Is he going to be as strong as Jiren, weaker, or even stronger? And here I asked you guys today on Twitter your thoughts. We could possibly see Jiren in this movie. Could they possibly go up against each other, Jiren and Broly? Or can we just use it as a power scaling discussion for today? Let's talk about it after this message from our sponsor.
Amino is an app with millions of different communities for people to unite around their passions, fandoms, and interests. Speaking of which, the Dragon Ball Z Amino is amazing, and it has over 130,000 active members. You can join live chats with other Dragon Ball fans from around the world. You can go check out fan art or read up on theories regarding the new Dragon Ball Super Broly movie.
Come follow me here on the Amino app. I got some exclusive pictures of the new Broly fan animation that I'm working on.
Follow me at Mastar Media on Amino and come check out my page. Make sure you click the link in the description or the pinned YouTube comment to download Amino for free on iOS and Android.
Once you're on Amino, search Dragon Ball Z to join.
And make friends with other Dragon Ball fans from around the world.
On Twitter, my handle is at Mastar Media. Make sure you guys follow me. And on Twitter, I asked you guys, new Broly versus Jiren, who wins and why? Reply here and you might get featured in my video tonight. So first we have Kenzairo, our boy who translates a lot of Dragon Ball news and information over from Japan, is the first here, and he says new Broly because he's got the power of Sakon. And if you guys don't know what Sakon is, you can sock on these nuts. It's like Ligma. It's like the new Ligma, I guess. Almost got me there, Ken, but I had the power of Google at my fingertips. Dr. Deku says Jiren wins because he was holding his own against Ultra Instinct Goku, and I can't imagine seeing the big bulky Broly holding a candle to him. What's all that power if you can't hit your opponents? That's very, very good opinion, and I was thinking the same thing. We got to understand here that Jiren was actually able to fight against Ultra Instinct Goku until the bitter end. Yes, he did actually lose before Goku's Ultra Instinct gave out and it really messed him up, but Jiren was able to pretty much go toe-to-toe with it. Now, since Ultra Instinct was not featured in the trailer, my fan theory, and I think a popular fan theory, is simply that Goku's just going to eventually break his shell at the end of the movie, turn Ultra Instinct, and beat Broly. And if he's able to do that, then obviously, if Broly can't stand up to Ultra Instinct at all, that means Jiren is much stronger. Wow, if I didn't make a thumbnail, if I saw this earlier, I totally would have used this as the thumbnail. That's a cool picture. Okay, MasterTube says Broly because he's a Saiyan and he can evolve and overcome. Now that's a very, very good point. As we know, Saiyans grow, especially during fights, and they have no limits. Whereas even though Jiren did, I guess, break his limit in the end of the Tournament of Power when he blew off his shirt and he was able to actually go toe-to-toe with Ultra Instinct Goku, Saiyans, as we know, really have no limits, and it's a possibility that Broly could get some crazy new form or evolve past his, what we've seen from his full power in the movie. Could he get a god form without the ritual? I mean, Vegeta did. So I guess that's a really, really, really good point, that even if Jiren is straight up stronger now, if we do get a 3-part movie, we could see Broly come back as a god for the second movie or something like that. So that's a really good comment. Broly with the ass pull. So yeah, and that's another possibility, guys, is that, I mean, I think it's an ass pull that he's even able to go up against gods as it is, even with his legendary form. So yeah, it is kind of an ass pull. It made more sense with Jiren being just, some mutant, other life form with insane power who trained his whole life just because strength was the only thing that mattered to him. But we're talking about Saiyans. We know how strong Saiyans can get, but it takes a long time, takes a lot of training, takes a lot of overcoming obstacles in order to get there. At least it did for Goku and Vegeta. And the thing is, in this movie, we saw a non-Super Saiyan Broly going up against a Super Saiyan Blue Goku. So when this guy goes full power, yeah, it is kind of an ass pull, but I mean, obviously, he's just going to completely destroy Goku and Vegeta until we see that Ultra Instinct or something else potentially happens. A lot of people saying they don't think they saw all of Jiren's potential. I'm pretty sure he was pushed to his limit in that fight in the end of the Tournament of Power. Isaiah Ramos says, Broly because he learns as he fight and his power increases each time too. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. He's a Saiyan, and that's one of the things you got to give to Broly in this sense is that he can just keep growing, keep getting stronger. He's a Saiyan with no limits, whereas other life forms, they have limits. So a lot of comments I'm skipping over. People are just saying, really depends on Goku's Ultra Instinct versus Broly. Like, we have to see that. And that's very, very true. But I mean, honestly, considering the fact that when you look at the power scaling, that a non-Super Saiyan Broly is taking on a Super Saiyan Blue, I mean, and this dude has the 2 transformations to go. He has a Super Saiyan and then he has his full power, like bulky muscles and everything. I think he's going to be able to go up against Ultra Instinct in the end, but we'll see. It would be kind of sucky if like Goku just turns Ultra Instinct in the very end of the movie, wins with 1 uppercut, and that's it. So hopefully, even though it doesn't really make sense power scaling wise, hopefully we do still get a really good fight between full power Broly versus Ultra Instinct Goku. Jiren easily, that dude can one-shot anybody with just his eyes, and the only way he lost to Goku was because he had Ultra Instinct. Most likely, only way that Broly could win is if he had something similar to UI. I don't see him winning any other way. Yeah, that's very true. I mean, Jiren's just a complete beast. How much work he put in with just his eyes. But at the same time, what if Broly gets Ultra Instinct? I seriously doubt that, but he could come back with a god form if they continue the movie. Extrema says, I think Jiren wins. When you see Broly's red eyes in the trailer, he'll think it's the bad guy who killed his whole village and snap. I don't think that Broly's really that evil in this movie. As Toriyama said, he's put a lot of extra work into the story. I don't think he's just this like evil, merciless guy anymore. He's going to have a more in-depth story. He may even be just getting controlled. So it also wouldn't make sense that Broly would somehow go to Universe 11 when he was a kid and be an adult and kill Jiren's parents. Like, none of it makes sense. It's impossible. Like, unless he had some time travel device and he decided he wanted to go to Universe 11, it just doesn't make sense. I don't think we're ever going to get an explanation as to who the evildoer is, but it's definitely not Broly. I think that's just some fan theory that's running around. Everybody wants to know who the evildoer is. I don't think we're ever even going to get acknowledged who it is. Jiren wins because Jiren is God. Jiren is not a god. He's able to go toe-to-toe with gods, stronger than gods of destruction, but he is not a god. But it is possible that Broly is the mortal stronger than gods that Whis had heard about. I know Broly is stronger, but Jiren has already seen Berserker Kale, and he took her out with 1 blast. That's a really good point. So if you're comparing Broly to Kale, you got to remember that Jiren just took her out with like 1 little attack, 1 little energy blast, and she was gone. So in that sense, yeah, if Broly's going to be as strong as Kale, which obviously he's going to have to be way stronger than that, then yeah, Jiren is way, way stronger than Broly. Jiren would finish Broly before he got to power up, since I'm 100% sure Goku and Vegeta are just going to let him power up. Yeah, that's totally true. I think Jiren would probably do that, because we didn't see Goku like slowly turn into Ultra Instinct in the Tournament of Power. It's just kind of like the first time it happened, he was like in the ground, and the second time it happened, Jiren was trying to nuke him off the stage, and he just turned into it and caught Jiren's gigantic blast. So yeah, I don't think Jiren would just wait. I mean, he is kind of cocky though, so like if he was like, you're nothing, go ahead and power up, maybe he would. I mean, but you definitely know Goku and Vegeta are going to sit there and let Broly go full power. Jiren would win. Broly will learn and go Ultra Instinct. Done. Broly is a monster. I don't see Jiren coming up there. Broly can delete universes as seen in the first movie. That's actually galaxies, bro. Jiren's full power got defeated by a Kamehameha. So most people think that it's definitely Jiren that's going to win, but there are some Broly fans who think that he's actually stronger. I'm pretty sure that Jiren could destroy galaxies too. Jiren, because he has more experience in fighting, that he definitely does. And he hammer curls planets, so yeah, that's pretty impressive to me. That's an awesome tweet, bro. Zinxie says Jiren wins because he has good techniques and also his new form. It's not really a form, it's just kind of like a full power, but Broly is just pure anger. Jiren is always calm unless he remembers his past trauma. That's very, very true. Jiren's a much better fighter than Broly. This Broly, as we saw from the trailer, is learning as he's fighting, so he's not very combat experienced, whereas Jiren totally is. So that gives Jiren a huge edge over Broly, and Jiren's much better at keeping his calm as well. And as you said, unless he remembers his past trauma. Now, normally in Dragon Ball, when you lose your head, that's when you start losing the fight. So in that sense, yeah, Jiren is way, way stronger. So Tira Uchiha says he thinks that pretty much we're going to see a repeat of episode 130 from Dragon Ball Super, from Tournament of Power. And yeah, that could totally happen. And if it did, I'd be okay with that. Episode 130 was the best episode of Dragon Ball Super. So if they repeated that in the movie, and it pretty much just saying maybe they're equal, I'd be totally cool with that. Hopefully this time Goku doesn't just run out of Ultra Instinct from the toll on his body. It's a really good tweet here. Super FMG says, if Broly can stand against Super Saiyan Blue in base Super Saiyan 1 form, I believe in a long fight Broly can win. Considering what Vegeta said in the trailer, he's learning as they fight, kind of like hits improvement depending on the rival's level. Short fight Jiren wins, long fight Broly. Yeah, that's very, very true, because Broly's going to continually get stronger, continually learn as he fights. In a long fight, Broly could take the W. Great tweet there, buddy. Jiren will win because Goku at first wasn't even able to touch Jiren in Super Saiyan Blue, but against Broly, he's somehow managing to fight. But we haven't seen Goku fighting against Broly's full power in Super Saiyan Blue. I think he's going to get completely decimated and annihilated. Broly, because of his limitless power, if he could hone the power of gods even just a little bit, he could even rival gods of destruction. I think so too. Unreal and Gaming says, Jiren, man, the F. Jiren because Broly is the person who killed his family. No, guys, just no. That is such a bad theory. How would Broly get to Universe 11? Broly would be like a baby at the time that Jiren's parents were killed, okay? It doesn't make sense. I believe Broly was the guy Beerus saw in his dream. I also believe Broly was the cause of Jiren's parents' death. Oh my god, guys. I'm gonna have to do like a whole video debunking this. He could be the guy from Beerus' dream, definitely, but he was not the killer of Jiren's parents. Okay, end of story. Broly because he has more fans and they'll get angry if Broly doesn't win, even if the power scaling doesn't make sense. Yeah, that is an awesome tweet, bro. Anthony Ogden says Jiren because in my opinion it would be early to drop an antagonist stronger than Jiren so soon. Big J was built up so much, and when he was leagues above anybody Goku had fought, and that's why I personally really enjoyed his character, but already dropped Broly on our heads and surpass him. Well, that's Dragon Ball, dude. If they don't keep making the enemy stronger and stronger, it's not going to be any fun. So obviously, Broly's going to be as strong as Jiren, or at least close to the strength of Jiren, or stronger than him. He's not going to be like really weaker, I don't think. But we'll have to see, really, as everybody's been saying, how Ultra Instinct goes up against Broly. Okay, Healthy Relationship says Broly, logically, the scaling must be consistent, which is what I was just talking about. So technically, Broly must be at least double Jiren. I don't know about double, but to make a good story, to make a Dragon Ball, you have to introduce stronger and stronger enemies. So I mean, it could be something like Cooler. Cooler said he was stronger than Frieza, but he wasn't stronger than Frieza. So it could be something like that. Like we just finished the Frieza arc from Dragon Ball Z. We got the Cooler movie. Goku turns into Super Saiyan, and at that point, Cooler couldn't do anything. So it could be something like that, just very, very close. He could be slightly weaker than Jiren. It would still be a really good fight. And Zach is confirming what I just said. How often is the newest antagonist weaker at their pinnacle than the previous antagonist? Exactly. People can say that there's no way Broly will be stronger, and they might be right, but the possibility is very real. And that's exactly true, and that's entirely why we had this discussion. So thank you guys so much for joining me today on this discussion video of Jiren vs. Broly. Follow me on Twitter if you haven't already. I'd really love to see Jiren in this film, but who knows if we'll see him or not. I don't think we will, but if Goku does lose, it would be awesome to see Jiren come in and whoop Broly's butt. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe and check out Amino with the link in the description, and I'll be talking to you very soon.